So this also requires that the APT to connect back to its command and control server, right? To look for tasking or to open an access path or some ports for the adversaries to gain a direct control over that system or over that network, right? So the most sophisticated APTs don't operate an application or a process, right? But they attain a different mode, I would say. What they do is they attach themselves to an existing application or a process, and usually they do this running in a memory. And this is also known as malware injection. And for instance, basically, if you want to see like an exploit kit, an Angular exploit kit that can inject its malware payload into a Internet Explorer process, the IE explorer.exe process, right? So that's called the malware injection part of it. So an APT basically wants to remain invisible for longer and as long as it's possible for it, right? And it operates low, under the radar, very stealthy. It tracks it extracts what it needs. Doesn't attract any attention toward itself, right? And with a very little impact on the host computer. By impact, I mean impact on the memory, impact on the CPU, and so forth. And also, it is very intelligent. If somebody tries to monitor a process, it'll go to sleep, things of that sort. All this intelligence is built into a lot of these APTs, and without generating even a regular or predictable network traffic. So what happens is a lot of these intrusion detection systems, they monitor traffic on the network, any abnormalities, spikes, or whatever, they will report them. So APTs are highly sophisticated. They will go under the radar from all those regular checks which are made, right? Okay, there is other things which you should know. A substantial amount of effort is invested in basically the cloaking or to making APT invisible. So the cloaking subsystems are very sophisticated, and also to ensure that your malicious actions cannot be observed by your malware, by your antivirus or anything, or your any legitimate operator, or even somebody monitoring the operation. So all that is also taken care of, right? And APT software is basically designed to collect information. That is the main thing it wants to do. And it needs to send it back to its control server, because now the information if it's been collected, it has to be transmitted. And this is also known as exfiltration, right? So you exfiltrate data, and a good exfiltration system will be, it not only does encryption, it also does other sophisticated mechanisms to send information back over the pipe so nobody can intercept it, right? So, so the monitoring system, and it also hides itself, the packets, it sends the packets in a more sophisticated manner, normally, which are basically ignored. It doesn't even use packets that are that use like HTTP and DNS requests and so forth. So basically, it uses very sophisticated ways of, as I said, cloaking. Then it goes and collects the information, sends it back. Even sending back is not the exfiltration part. That is also done very sophisticatedly. Encryption is used there. Special ways of sending, special ports. So the whole process is very, very interesting and complicated. All right. So I will say the final function here is also which you should know about is basically regeneration, right? So in order to remain operational for a period of time, an APT basically needs to restart when the system is rebooted, right? Because if you kill the system, all the processes die, so it has to regenerate itself, right? So in order to do that, it basically goes in, and also if some administrator goes in there and deletes it, basically finds it, discovers it, and deletes that, that hey, this looks like a very suspicious process file or something, let's kill it, So the basic approach for basically it has to reignite itself, and for the reignition process on a Windows system, it is to write a new entry into the registry, to instruct Windows to run the malware loader and so forth, right? So this may not be your only I would say reignition mechanism, right? However, as often as APT will be using multiple times, and if it gets removed, it'll kind of replicate itself, and it'll try to regenerate itself and to resurrect itself, using these various techniques, even making entries in the registry or whatever is needed at that particular time, right? So what does APT look like when it's even when it's being done or deployed by a state or military is behind it? Well, while a malware module called Agent BTZ, which was earliest recorded APT. So that is how APTs were discovered, I would say, and the infection, it was basically used to infect Pentagon in 2008, and it was the most notorious military grade APT known till date, and has been there. And then also another one which I was talking about earlier was the Stuxnet, and it was detected in 2010. So these are, I'm talking about the detection dates, right? So we know that from that day, from 2008 till now, it's been there. For 2010, from now, it's been there. But it was probably part of the system way before that, right? So those are some of the things which you need to know, and how APT's last cycle works, how an APT characteristics, how they impact your organization or would impact any investigation which you are part of. All right. So actually, this brings us to the end of class 1. It was pretty interesting. I enjoyed delivering it. I hope you got something out of it. And now, since I have your attention, you should try to focus more upon the characteristics of APTs. So the other classes, I will go over some demo first, and then I will go into a little bit more details. All right. Thanks for joining. I'll see you in the next class.